For generations, we've been told a very simple story about our past. Humanity slowly climbed from caves to cities, from stone tools to smartphones, in a straight, unbroken line. But what if that story is wrong? What if our history isn't a line, but a circle? What if a forgotten chapter exists, one that's been deliberately ignored, hidden beneath the oceans, and buried by time? This is the story of a civilization that rose and fell before our own. A world filled with architectural marvels, cosmic knowledge, and technologies that shouldn't have existed. This is the forbidden history of the advanced civilization that lived before the Great Flood. Across nearly every ancient culture on Earth, separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years, one story echoes with haunting similarity. Before our recorded history began, there was a golden age, an era when humans lived longer, built higher, and understood the universe in ways we are only now beginning to grasp. And then, it all ended. A global catastrophe, a great flood drowned entire continents, reshaped the planet, and left only a handful of survivors to carry the faint memory of the world that was. From the Sumerian king list and the book of Genesis to the Hindu Vedas and the Mayan Papal, the message is the same. A great deluge wiped the slate clean, the Sumerians. Our earliest known writers spoke of kings who reigned for tens of thousands of years before the flood, ruling over cities that possessed knowledge beyond our comprehension. Indian texts describe flying machines called vimanas, star maps of incredible accuracy, and weapons of terrifying power. The Greek philosopher Plato wrote of Atlantis, a civilization so advanced its technology surpassed anything seen for millennia. When so many disconnected cultures tell the same story, it stops being a myth and starts feeling like a memory. But this forgotten story isn't just preserved in ancient texts, it's etched in stone, in ruins so massive, so precise, and so mathematically perfect that even our most advanced modern machinery would struggle to replicate them. Take Göbekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey. Built over 11,000 years ago, it predates agriculture, pottery, and writing. So, how did so-called primitive hunter-gatherers construct this massive temple complex? Each stone pillars are aligned to the stars and covered in intricate carvings of cosmic symbols. Archaeologists now admit Göbekli Tepe wasn't the beginning of civilization, but more likely the end of one, a last outpost built by the survivors of a world that had been washed away. Then there's Baalbek in Lebanon. Its foundation is made of some of the largest stone blocks ever moved by human hands, with some weighing over 1,000 tons. To this day, no one can explain how they were cut and placed with such perfect precision. Later civilizations, like the Romans, built their own temples on top of these colossal platforms, but they never claimed to have moved the original stones. It is as if they found a remnant of a forgotten age of giants and simply built upon their legacy. In South America, the walls of Sacsayhuaman in Peru are another enigma. Their stones, weighing many tons, are fit together so tightly that a piece of paper cannot slide between them. They appear almost melted and molded into place, suggesting a lost technology for softening stone. Perhaps the most compelling evidence lies not on land, but beneath the waves. At the end of the last ice age, around 12,000 years ago, melting glaciers caused sea levels to rise by hundreds of feet, swallowing vast coastal lands. And what are we finding there? Off the coast of India, the submerged city of Dwarka reveals paved streets and complex urban planning, dated to a time it was believed no such cities existed. Off Japan, the Yanaguni monument looks like a sunken pyramid with terraces and sharp, geometric angles that defy natural formation. And near the Bahamas, the Bimini Road appears to be a man-made pavement of massive stones, stretching for half a mile beneath the ocean. These underwater ruins all point to the same conclusion. Thriving civilizations were drowned by a sudden, Catastrophic rise in sea levels, an event perfectly consistent with the Great Flood myths. So, if all this evidence exists, why does mainstream academia resist it? The answer is simple. Admitting a sophisticated pre-flood civilization existed would shatter our entire understanding of human history. It would force us to rewrite every textbook. It would mean acknowledging that ancient myths were not just stories, but distorted memories of real events and real technologies. The downfall of this previous world is often described as a moral failing. Plato's Atlantis fell due to greed and arrogance. The Indian Mahabharata describes wars fought with weapons that sound eerily like nuclear bombs. This story isn't just about a flood, it's a warning. They grew too powerful, forgot their place in the natural order, and were wiped out as a consequence. But did anyone survive? Legends from every corner of the globe speak of mysterious civilizing. Heroes who appeared after the cataclysm. In Egypt, it was thought, who brought writing and science in Mesopotamia. Oans emerged from the sea to teach law and agriculture. In the Americas, Quetzalcoatl and Viracocha, described as pale, bearded men, brought knowledge of astronomy and engineering to the scattered tribes. These figures weren't gods. They were described as teachers, survivors from a drowned world, preserving what little knowledge they could and trying to help humanity rebuild. They may have been the ones who inspired the construction of sites like Göbekli Tepe, which appears to have been intentionally buried, as if to protect its knowledge for a future time. When you look at the evidence, the geological data, the ice core samples, the ancient texts, and the impossible ruins, a pattern emerges. Human history is not a straight line of progress. It is a cycle of rising, falling, and forgetting. We reach incredible heights, only to be brought low by catastrophe, leaving behind only faint whispers for the next cycle of humanity to rediscover. The greatest question isn't whether this lost civilization existed, but what they knew. Did they harness energies we can't imagine? Did they understand consciousness and physics in ways we are only just beginning to explore? The silence surrounding them is not the silence of absence, it's the silence of suppression. The evidence is all around us, waiting for those with open minds to see it. We are not the first advanced civilization on this planet, and given the cycles of history, we have to ask ourselves, will we be the last? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into our forgotten past, make sure to subscribe for more.